Alright, what's going on, guys? So I finally have another set here to unbox. Yes, it is a CRT, and this time it is a video monitor. I did technically skip one. There's another box right there that I already opened up, but since I already have that one out, let's go ahead and focus on this one. So this, if you haven't read the title yet, is going to be on the Sony PVM 8041Q. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, so my name's P017 or P017, and it's been a little while since I've actually done an unboxing video of a CRT. Of course, this one here I went ahead and ordered from eBay like always with all of mine, and for some reason I have actually a surprisingly good track record for the CRTs. So I already did pre-open this one a little bit just to get all the packaging labels, anything like that out, but let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside here. So the first thing I did notice, this is a single layer cardboard box. And of course, it's just packed full of bubble wrap. So we'll go ahead and toss it to the side and see what we get inside here. Which of course is our PVM 8041Q. And if I can find some handles to grab, that would be very nice. Because this is filled with nothing but bubble wrap. And this bubble wrap's already falling, so actually, there we go. Let's just grab the actual carrying handle for this thing. So as you can see, judging by the cardboard box as well as the bubble wrap, this thing wasn't wrapped very good. Of course, I didn't pay very much for this thing either, so I wasn't expecting very much. And for those who are wondering, yes, this is actually my first Sony 8-inch or 9-inch, depending on, I guess, the model, even though they're all technically 8-inch, PVMs. So I decided to get this 8041Q mainly due to the fact that it is quite cheap, and it's also untested. So we're going to test this thing, and we're going to see how well it does. But just judging by the looks of it, and by the fact that something just slid out from the back, which is a portable battery. I have not seen one of these in a very long time. That's really neat. Came with a battery. So we'll just set that off to the side, and that is the only battery that's in the back. But here's how it looks. So judging by the front cover, there looks to be a potential gap in the CRT right here and right up here on the top. This button was one that I was a little worried about. This one was actually, well, you can see it's actually quite loose there. Oh, well, actually it did fit back in, so maybe it has some hope left in it, but all these knobs, everything like that, seem pretty well, and the power button presses. So what we're going to do is we're going to test this set. I'll hook it up, and I'll hook probably S-Video up to it just to see. But before I do that, actually, let me go ahead and show you around some of the other parts of this set. So here's the side, here's the back. The battery compartment fell out right here. But as you can see, this one has RG&B for RGB or component, as well as a sync right there. S-Video, composite video, and then another composite video right there. And of course, each line has another out. So if you wanted to run to another monitor, you could do so. And just judging by the back here, everything actually looks pretty good. The remote looks pretty good, everything like that. So let's go ahead and plug it in. And no, I don't believe I'm going to test this battery pack because I'm pretty sure this thing is dead. So maybe I will, who knows, but we'll see in just a little bit. I'll go ahead and move over to my test bench, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I took one more quick look right here. So this is seeming to be the only broken part on this set, and I might try to unscrew this to try and get at it a little bit better, but this is where the eject button is for the battery, which is probably why the battery flopped out of it, because this part is broke. So I will see about that, but I'm going to continue hooking up everything here, and we'll see how things go. Alright, everything is plugged in here, so let's go ahead and crank this baby. So, first power on. And we have life. I saw the screen just pop now, so it looks like power is at least getting fed to the screen. Let me go ahead and double check to make sure that the input on this is correct. See if we get something out of S-Video. So let's go ahead and actually power on the set and see if we can't get 240p test suite to boot up on it. Alright, so right now 240p test suite is on, but let's go ahead and take a look right here to see if anything pops up. And of course, this busted one. Well, I'm not seeing anything yet. Maybe there is a switch back here that could help us out. Well, I can't find anything for this yet, and this is my first time playing around with a 8-inch Trinitron, so give me just one moment. Alright, so I did manage to actually get something on the screen, which is pretty impressive within itself. So this currently is actually running on composite line B on the back. So on the front, you have line A, which is composite or S-video, line B, which is just composite, and then you have your RGB/component. Now, so it does seem like this internal-external sync button is proving to be quite a downfall with RGB, because I went and hooked it up, and it's not properly syncing right, and I can't really press this button down very well to try and get it to work. So I'm going to have to look into that whenever I take a look at this. This bezel up here too seems to be a bit loose, but other than that, everything else seems to be okay with the Sony set. The buttons around here, these knobs seem to work. These other buttons seem to do pretty well. This one here, obviously that's just for color. That's underscan, and that one is, well, that. So based on what I can tell already, so the screen does need to be shifted a little bit to the left and a little bit up, or expanded up at least for vertical. So I will be taking this set apart later, and I will be taking a look at the boards just to see how they look. For some reason on line A, I couldn't get S-video to work, so I'm going to try to do composite through line A and see what happens there. I'm not sure what the heck is going on with that. But at least line B works. So as you can see here on the grid, this left side, of course, is a bit, well, how should I put it? Pretty off. And then this top part here is bowing in just a little bit. And let me see if I can't get a better, there we go. A little bit better of an angle for that, just to show you guys how it looks. And there you go. So overall, though, it looks pretty okay to me thus far. The focus on this is really well. The convergence on this is not terrible. It could maybe use something, but honestly, it could just be the composite rainbowing because I'm in composite. But other than that, all these corners look pretty good. The center looks pretty good. That's actually what I was a little worried about, because one of the reasons that has deterred me from buying an 8-inch set like this is the overall build quality of some of these PVMs. These 80 series models, of course, having a potentiometer still inside, having some color issues normally, and some other issues just in general. The 9L series, I hate the 9L too. I'll put it simply. It just, for what you get, it's just not that good. It's a 250 line 9-inch or 8-inch PVM, really, and the only difference is that this is now a service menu instead of pots on the board. And I don't know why people rave about it, because it's just not that good. 9L3, though, 450 line HR Trinitron tube, not as bad. But I've also noticed in the 9L2s, their conversions is actually quite a bit worse than some of these, so I don't get it, but whenever I look at Sony PVMs, I tend to try and hold them to a higher standard because they are made pretty well overall. They're supposed to be built to be very good. But enough ranting. So far, though, this does look pretty alright, and I will be testing out the speakers here. Let's see if I actually remember to hook up the audio. I forgot to. Give me just a moment. Yeah, I see what I did. I plugged the audio into line B. Or actually, no, I just didn't plug it in at all. So let's see if the left side works. Yes, it does. So if you cannot hear, let me go ahead and turn up the volume. So we have audio, and that's good. So this set is salvageable. And mind you, like I said, I did buy this untested. So overall, this thing looks pretty okay for what it is. So let me go ahead and actually turn on a game, and we'll get a closer look and see how things look on composite video, unfortunately. But it's still video nonetheless. Alright, before I continue on, I just realized something. The S-Video cable I was plugging into my Super Nintendo was not plugged into my Super Nintendo. It was plugged into my GameCube. So, we have S-Video, and it actually is working quite well. So I will be using that instead, because I don't like composite rainbowing very much. And to go on about convergence, it's fine. I may or may not tweak something later, but for now, let's go ahead and move on to a nice video game. Alright, so first impressions, the sound quality is pretty awful for the audio. Here, let me turn it down actually a little bit. There we go. So yeah, audio is pretty awful, but it's not a big deal, honestly. It's an 8-inch PVM. What more can you expect with something like this? The screen itself is actually better than I thought it would be. I would think that a 250 line tube wouldn't look very good, but honestly it looks better than expected. Now, of course, it doesn't compare to a 450 line tube. I've seen some of the shots comparing, let's say the Mega Man one is probably the most publicly seen, and there is definitely a different up close, but if you're looking at it from afar, it's actually not that bad. So what I'll probably do is eventually I will make another video of the Sony PVM 8041Q. I'm going to be tearing it apart because I do want to see if I can't fix that internal-external sync problem, which is not giving me RGB video, and I'll actually switch over to RGB to show you what I'm talking about right now. Alright, so put it simply, this is what I'm getting right now through RGB, so obviously something's pretty wrong, and I did actually manage to pop this button in for a second and actually get it to trip, but if I mess around with it a little bit, it's not really wanting to play very nicely. As you can see right here, it just tried, but it's not really liking it, I'll be honest with you. So I'm going to have to diagnose into this a little bit and see what the heck is going on with the sync on this, as well as the colors, because it just is not wanting to play nicely. So yeah, other than that, I'd call this a win for right now, especially for S-Video. So we'll go ahead and leave it at that. Alright, so that's pretty much going to conclude this video for right now, just because, well, there's nothing really too much more to do on this set besides my initial reaction, and of course trying to see if I can't get some of the things to work. Other than that, though, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video and joining me unboxing this video, and just seeing overall my first impressions with this. So, yeah. I'm pretty excited to be diving into this monitor. I was going to take it apart anyways, because that's the only way you can really adjust them. So that'll be quite fun. So look forward to another video on that. And, on top of that, look forward to a video coming soon on this big thing, this Trinitron XBR. And maybe one other thing that I have somewhere in the background, which is the other video monitor that I unboxed. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button or subscribe for more, or both. And I will see you guys in the next video.